Hello Pisces, and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot and your reading for June 2018. I am just focusing on heart, body, and soul for this month. And in the heart, we have Ace of Wands, and this really is screaming to me a very heavy, very strong and intense undertow of pining for a change. Really wanting a change of some sort. It feels as though you are feeling extremely stuck. You're feeling stagnant. You've been feeling it for a while. You've been going through the motions, trying to create the change, as we're often told to do when we want to change, to create it, go after it, pursue it. And you have been going through this process, but there's just this feeling of the dots are not connecting yet. And there's an overall sense of frustration as deep within your heart, you're just really pining for something to take hold. You know, how many seeds can you plant before they start growing is sort of the thought behind that. And I must say that it's not the amount of seeds that you plant, it's the culmination of, the care that's given to it. Not that you haven't been giving care to your seeds. But sometimes these things take time. I just want to kind of put that out there. Sometimes these things take time, and sometimes they take longer than other. For instance, we bought corn to plant in our garden this year, and who knew that there was one type of corn that takes 70 days to grow, and there's another type of corn that takes 90 days to grow. We've always bought the corn that takes 90 days to grow. We never knew that there was a corn that existed that is a sweet corn that only takes 70. That is more than half of a month sooner than the other corn crop will grow. So maybe the plants and the seeds that you've planted has a little bit longer of a germination period before it will pop up. Don't lose heart. It's okay to pine. Just keep moving forward. Physically, we have the Lovers, and I really do believe this is basically just reaffirming the little tangent I went on with the Ace of Wands to let you know the connections are coming. You will see those connections, those beautiful chemistry-ridden connections that produce things. They are coming. You should start seeing some of those connections at the beginning of June, but they're going to be slight. Again, going back to the concept of a garden, it's gardening time. Going back to the concept of a garden and planting those seeds, a lot of times when you first see, if you have a row of a particular vegetable planted and you watch them, you'll notice in that row, sometimes it'll be a while before you even see just one plant pop up. And even then, you might only see a tiny little bit of green from one out of a row of like 30 or 40. So it can be frustrating, but take encouragement when you see that tiny little greenery, that tiny little connection pop up, knowing that, okay, all of the work that it was doing underground has taken hold, even though you couldn't see it, and it will eventually continue to grow, and eventually it will push through that dirt, and eventually you will see the tips of it, and within time you'll see the next one and the next one, and then they'll all be growing up higher and higher and higher, and the efforts that you've been putting in will pay back the results. You reap what you sow. So continue to do the work so that you know that when you harvest time comes around, it is going to be harvesting what you want to be getting out of it. But as long as you're doing it with the pure intent and love, and you are putting into it specific desires for specific results, just those connections are coming. Just have faith. Soul-wise, we have the Six of Swords, and I really feel that this isn't so much something that has to happen as much as something that is going to be plaguing you. So deep within your soul, I feel that there's going to be this desire to just walk away, to just be done, to move on, to give up, in a sense. The level of frustration and what seems like lack of growing as a result of all your hard work is going to feel momentous at times, to the point where I feel that there's a really good chance some of you are going to experience the desire to just walk away and figure, you know what, I'm done giving the energy that I was giving to this. I really want to move on to something else. at this time. Now the message comes with twofold. One, don't be discouraged. You don't have to move on. You can keep working at it. The other half of that message is, if you need to move on to a distraction, not so much to move on completely, but move on to a distraction so you're not going out and looking out at the garden every hour to see if something has poked through, by all means find that distraction, but don't walk away completely. Don't give up all of your hope for this thing that you know deep within your heart is actually going to take spark eventually. So distraction's okay. If you need to walk away for distraction, give yourself that permission. But know that if you continue to feed this, even within moments of your distraction, if you continue to nurture this, it is going to have those connections. You are going to see that growth that you desire. So I went ahead and pulled a message from Spirit, and I recognize that I've chosen fear, and I choose love. And I feel this is in direct relationship with this particular message. That moment when you feel so frustrated that you're just so ready to move on because you feel like, you know what, I'm going to have peace of mind, heart, body, and soul if I just move on to something different. Recognize the fear that might be driving you in that direction, the panic that might be driving you in that direction. And I feel that there's a little bit of an edge of, if I focus too much on this, then I'm basically wasting time. I'm losing time. I'm losing energy. This is time and energy that I can't be putting at something else, and I'm putting this in. What if, whenever I'm done with all of this, nothing occurs out of it, and now all of that time and energy and money or whatever is involved is completely gone and wasted? Well, first of all, I must say, nothing that you wholeheartedly with pure intent put your time and energy into is wasted. There's value in that. Take the time to try to find the value if you can't find it anymore. If the end result is no longer the encouragement and support that you need to see to the end, look at it from a different angle and recognize what you're gaining in the process. A lot of times it's not about the destination, it is the process. We gain so much in the journey to the destination. And so just take the time to tap into that to be your encouragement. But just kind of recognize what it is that's motivating that panic, that fear, that feeling of overwhelm. Face it. And try not to choose that emotion. Try to choose love and passion and see if that kind of helps to revive some of that drive that started you on this path to begin with. All right, Pisces, that is all I have for you for this month. I hope June is good to you. Have a great one, and hopefully I see you in the next one.